So I was at the library a while ago, and they literally, I think, synced up the thing with my fart. Literally. I know it sounds retarded, but I'm not even joking. I think they synced up the thing with my fart. Literally. Right as I farted, because I just had to fart. Sometimes you just gotta fart. Right as I farted, somebody started talking across the room. And that's not the first time it's happened. They sync up the thing with my fart, or just with like my stomach gurgling and shit like that. And they'll sync up with me breathing if I'm like laying in bed. So every time I inhale, there's a sync happening sometimes. Or they'll sync up with my fart, or like I've said, I think they sync up things like that, or I know that they do. And then when I walked into the library, there were these kids. Like there was this mom and there were two kids, and they were like walking up to the door a bunch of times and like looking at me and like smiling and then like running back, and then like they run up to the door again and they like keep like poking their head out the door like as I'm walking up to the building, and then did it like right as I walk up to the door. Like the girl like does that when I walk up to the door, and then the other boy, the little boy, is like walking up to the other door, because there's like 3 doors when you walk in the library, you know. And when I was walking in the second door, the boy is meeting me right at the second door, and the mom's like right behind him. And then as I was like starting to leave the library, like when I'm coming out of the aisle into like the lobby part of the library, they usually sync a thing right there. It's usually somebody walking through the door, and it was somebody walking out of the door as I was walking out into there. So it was like somebody walking out as I was walking in, and then somebody walking out as I was like starting to leave. And then like I was sitting at this park, and I get up and walk. Well, this silver car came up and parked there, like the parking lot there, and it was just sitting there the entire time. Or like they pulled up like I was sitting there eating, and they pulled up like a few minutes after I sat down or whatever. But I walked by the car, and then like I walk up to the street like nearby there, and then I got this frequency in my ear. So like I wondered if the person in the car sitting there was like shooting me with a frequency, but I don't know. But anyway, then I hear a siren right now. Is that a stalker again? The siren's still going off in the distance. I see a cop driving by. It seemed to be this whitey driving by. It was right as I closed my window, too. The cop drove out. Oh, and there was a car in the background behind the cop when he drives through the intersection. There's a bunch of other cars synced up out there. But yeah, I was gonna say something else, but I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't know. But like last night, I woke up in the middle of the night, and I think it was last night or the night before, and there was a train horn going off a bunch of times. I was just laying in bed, and there was a train horn going off a bunch of times. And then I drifted off back to sleep, and I was just like, and then I heard a sound in the hallway, and I sound sync to these cars outside. I hear someone talking in the hallway now. And then I didn't see any cops like all day yesterday at all, like the entire day. And then today I've seen a few cops again. I think I wasn't seeing them for like a few days, or like I've seen less of them. But today I've seen at least like 3 or 4 of them or something. It's 2 p.m. right now, so there's still I still might see like 100 more of them before the day's over. I think that was the first siren of the day. There's been a few train horns today, though. It's been a bunch of synced up birds today. And on the last 2 videos that I did, there was a bunch of synced up birds. There's a truck driving by me right now. He's probably synced. Yep, he looks synced. He's a black truck, and he looks synced with this other black car on the street. Yep, looks synced out there. So, I don't know what it looks like at y'all's window, but on my window, it looks synced all time. From the point of view of my window specifically, it looks synced. And then the black truck pulled up in the parking space, and then he backed up, and then he parked again, synced with the black and the silver car, and meet each other at the intersection. And then there's more black and silver cars synced as they walk away from the black truck. At least the only parked again once though. Sometimes they do it like 10 times and then it's synced every time. Like every time they back up and drive forward again and park again, there's like a burst of cars driving out every time that they like stop or start driving again or whatever. And you just come up and like pull up into space and then back up and then park again and then back up again and then park again and then back up again and park again. And then it'll just be a burst of cars like every time that they do it. It'll just be like a burst of cars and people walking out and whatever from multiple different places at once with each other and meeting each other and shit. And then like they'll like pull out of the parking space and go park in another parking space or whatever. Like fuck it, I'll just park over here instead. And then they'll drive around in a giant circle to do it. That's pointless circle where they could just turn the car, or just turn it sharper and just do it. But they just... And then they park. See these cars synced, and then these people walking out synced with them, and then they're gonna get in a car synced. Probably the black truck again. Yep, it's the black truck again. And they picked up someone else, and they got red pants on. And then I wonder, like, did they have the red pants on all day, or did they just put the red pants on right now, like a minute ago, before they walked out? Or what? Or is it a red pants thing, or do they just have red pants on? It is Husker game day. It's Saturday. It's Husker game day. Maybe that's why they got the red pants on. Anyway, they drove away synced with a bunch of cars. And they left the parking lot in the black truck. Anyway. The AC thing outside my apartment turned off when I took a drink, and then I heard the sound of like, I don't know what it was. Might be my refrigerator or something. And then my heater just clicked right now. When I walk over to the side room, the heater on the wall was like, and then I hear engine sounds outside. Do you hear? I don't know if you can hear it or if there's the fuzzy sound on the video that covers up the sound effects. I see a bunch of cars driving out of the exit, and I hear the engine sounds again. So should I keep the camera rolling in case the plane flies over me or what? I don't know. It's kind of redundant. So I just get kind of bored talking about it these days. I'm just like, yup. Until I see a sync kangaroo or something, it's kind of boring. It's like, yup, there you go again. And you're just repeating the same thing over and over on every video, you know what I mean? It's like, yup, there's the whiteys again. What's new? Any sync kangaroos out here yet? I bet if I was in Australia, I'd see a St. Kangaroo or St. Wombat or something. Or St. Dingo with the St. Kangaroo synced with the car. Can I speak up? Nah. Turn up your volume. I see a whitey truck and a bunch of other cars and syncs. And then the last two cars synced with each other. Like, there's one at this corner and one at this corner, and they drive out of sight at the same time. A giant sync parade, and then they drive out of sight synced. It's just seems retarded out here. It still seems retarded out here right now. What am I discussing? Synctards. Do you know what a synctard is? Do you know what a synctarder is? They own that synctarder sauce. There's this car way in the distance that's like halfway behind a tree that was like flashing his lights synced, I think. I don't know if he was doing it synced. It was like his car alarm was going off or something. His lights were flashing. I think it was synced. I'm not sure. But if it was, that's synced hard as fuck. Adrenochrome? What about adrenochrome? This whitey just pulled up and parked in the background behind the intersection and opened his door synced-hearted, and then closed his door synced-hearted, like with two different bursts of cars. And then it starts a chain reaction of syncs. And then there's more sync cars, and then they're synced with the chain reaction of sync cars. And they're all a bunch of silver cars mostly. And then the black cars, two black cars, synced with each other. And then the silver truck's gonna drive by me right now. I think I hear a jet in the sky. I don't know if it's a synced-hard jet, but it might be. I think the one this morning was, I was flying over and I was walking outside, but I'm not sure. It's behind the clouds. So I don't know if it was synced hardly over my head or not, but usually when I hear a jet in the sky, I look up and then it's directly over my head. And it's usually like right when I'm walking up to the intersection or something that's happening. Or right as I'm walking out of the building or something. There would be a slow driver forever in the high lane, the fast lane, and I'll get around it. And sure enough, one halo. Yup. Facts. This truck just pull up and park synced sideways in the parking lot and open his door and then he got out and he's, what's he doing? Oh, he got in his car and got something out of it or something, and then he's getting back in his truck. And he looks synced with the cars on the street as he does it, and then he's driving off synced out of the parking lot again. And he's gonna be like, ta-da! My refrigerator is clicking synced with him getting to the edge of the parking lot as the whitey gets to the intersection. And then there's a black and silver car synced with each other. And then there's a bunch of other synced tarders. And then there's a guy on a bike synced tardedly. And then he's gonna sync tarder again at the intersection when he rides up on his bicycle. Oh, he didn't do anything there. He looked synced tarder when he rode out, bro. Like he was like, ta-da! It looks synced tarded. I see the guy walking that got out of the whitey that parked in the background behind the intersection. He's like walking back the other way. Like he walked away from the whitey a minute ago, and then he was like walking back the other way when he walked up to the window. And then like when he walked out of sight, there was a car driving up to the intersection. But anyway, I've been hearing all these weird ass noises like in my apartment, like the other night. It's like it sounded like it was like the edge of like the window sill or the window edge, whatever. It was like creaking. It was like whatever. And I was doing it synced a bunch of times. Like I always hear these creaking sounds in the walls and shit. Weird ass sounds in the walls. It synced up moments. And like only at synced up moments ever. So I think that's the end of this walknupsynct show. Stay tuned for another episode of the walknupsynct show. we're gonna be walking up sync non-stop, and we're gonna keep walking up sync in between episodes of the Walking Up Sync show. And then I'm gonna come on the next episode. I'm gonna talk about what happened in between the episodes of the Walking Up Sync show. Because always be walking up sync all time. Walking up sync. So stay tuned for another episode of the Walking Up Sync show. It used to be Walking Up Sync. That's it. That's all I see is just Walking Up Sync every day. So stay tuned for another episode because there's gonna be more Walking Up Sync. And right now, I'm on the I see them walking up sync. In their cars, walking up sync. And maybe I'm gonna see a plane walking up sync. And maybe this guy on the bike is gonna be walking up sync. But he's got a bike and he's got a dog with him, I think. Yeah, he's walking a dog. I think he's synced with this car. He's walking the dog and he's synced with the car. Walking up sync.